Probably 10 seconds. Okay. This your boy, live and direct in full effect after 832. Y'all already know how Jimmy J Smooth. With my partner in crime, brother Craig Smith II. You know what I'm saying? Up there in Huntsville, Alabama. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be talking about a diverse array of topics. Uh, so it's not just gonna be sports. Typically it'd be mostly sports, but you know what I'm saying? We're gonna jump into that um, as soon as we get it popping on that. But one of the first things I want to get into, you know what I'm saying, with my boy Craig Smith II, is there's a video going around with the grown man, you know, whooping his child. And like I say, I'm not a whooping your kids. But what I will suggest, because you know what I'm saying, there are some things, some stupid shit I done did that I need an ass whooping every 5 seconds for. You know, to me, in some situations, my mama didn't whoop my ass enough. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that my mama listening, you know what I'm saying? Just know. And my mama said this to me as a kid. She's like, you gonna wish I whoop your ass on certain things. You know what I'm saying? And there are some things that all of us need an ass whooping on. Let's not get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? People need to stop acting like, well, I just talk to my kids. Well, if you can just talk to your kids, if you can just talk to your kids, cool. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you can get to a point to where a kid don't want that ass whooping. They're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna try to do my best as a kid. So some kids will get the message,
right?
But and some kids you're gonna have to beat their ass until you get them till they 18 or till they out the goddamn house. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, there is no excuse for you to put it on social media.
Oh hell
because once that ass whooping gets on social media, you can screenshot it, you can screen save it, you can screen record it. It's all type of technology these days to where something that could be as minute as a ass whooping for acting up in school can go 1 million views on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or whatnot. But that wasn't just the issue I had. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I'm a huge proponent of beating the kid's ass. I'm for whooping the kid's ass. You know what I'm saying? And all you opponents of a kid getting their ass whooped, I don't know what kind of logic you got. You know what I'm saying? Because half of these motherfuckers, and let me go into this real quick before I get on to subject at hand. Half of these motherfuckers will be the first to call the police on their kids when they act up on simple shit. A lot of have you ever noticed, Craig, when motherfuckers say, well, I just talked to my kids. The moment that kid acts up, in a lot of cases, I've seen this a lot. In a lot of cases, those motherfuckers will be quick to call the police on the kid. You got motherfuckers out here that's calling the police on 9-year-old kids. I'm saying, smack that motherfucker upside the head. You got motherfuckers out here. Go ahead.
Hey, as the great Bernie Mac said, take a belt and knock the fuck out their ass. But dude, I have seen that plenty of times, and I ain't putting nobody on the spot here. I've noticed something like with several of my graduating classmates and some, you know, one in particular. He got on Facebook and admitted that with his children, he said something about that, and he admitted that he didn't give a fuck if folks because he was more being friends to his children than a parent. And a lot of people, he got on his post and said one time that a lot of people criticized about that and said you know you got to be one or the other. You need to be a parent first. You need to be a parent or a friend. You can't be a friend first, then a parent second. And he got on his Facebook post and said that he didn't give a fuck. And when you be a friend, and you know, when you be friends with your children instead of being a parent, your kid is gonna be 9 times out of 10, your kid is gonna be entirely fucked up. I'm just being real. Me being the only child of, like I said on my on a recent episode that we did, shit. I'd rather take an ass whoop from my mom than Pops, dog. Because like I said, Pops used to whoop my ass when I was in the tub. And I think, I'm saying like live on here one time, he fucked around and let that belt hit my little partner down below. So I gave him his receipt. This about I was about 12 years old. I gave that man the receipt. He ain't put his hands on me no motherfucking more. he for a minute, you know, and then until he decided, you know, he wanted to get cute. But yeah, man, no, fuck a talk these days, and that's why I said that's why some of these kids today are entirely fucked up right now because they think they spoiled. Oh, I just talk to my kids, or I just let them do what we, you know, do whatever. No, bro, no. Especially these moms, especially these little flimmy little ass moms and shit out there. Want to do, you know, you said bad examples of them because, you know, you showcasing your habits around them, and they feel like, oh, hey, well, if mom can do that, then that's cool with me. I can do that too. You know,
right?
No,
right.
You know, the time I grew up in, no, none of that shit wasn't cool. And I mean, and you know, I'm admitted wrong here, man. I mean, hey, my mom and dad, they weren't the best. I mean, because I got to think about it. I mean, you know, a friend of my mom's told me one time, you know, there is a manual to parent. You know, half the time we don't make the best parents in the world. I know mine, man. I'm just gonna go on record and say it. Mine still needed some growing up to do when I was born, and then as I got older, they still need some. You know, they still have some issues and shit, inner conflicts and issues and shit with themselves because. You know, my mom, you know, she was an orphan because she lost my grandmother when she was I think 13. She told me 13 or 14 years old.
Yeah.
And okay, and her father, I mean, I consider my uncle more of a grandfather than her dad, man, because her dad's just a piece of shit. You know, God rest his soul, Lord forgive him for speaking ill of the dead like that, but it is what it is. He was just a piece of shit. And, you know, my father had issues with his mom, you know. So, and when you blend all them type of issues together, man, it's, you know, I saw somebody made a post on there about, it's more about there's no love in the world now. It's all about survival. And that's what it is. And, you know, I felt my parents raised me more on survival and love, dog. And, you know, and that's really, what be the problem? All the hardened attitudes and stuff. It ain't no love out there. And it's really not just with parents, man. You know, these folks out here treating these relationships, and don't mean to get off subject, but we're going to get to that about with the video. You know, and that's really what the problem is with these relationships, you know, with relationships and marriages and stuff like that. It's too many, it's too many men and women out here just fucking settling. I mean, but you know, the women be complaining about do this and do that. Okay, you interested in a good dude, but what you doing with this old dead dick ass dude in your house that's got about four or five different kids by 5 different women, all this shit living in your house, telling you what your ass need to do up in your house that you own and shit like that, you know. Mm-hmm. And you got too, you know, and you got to, and hey, let me tell you something, fellas, you know what I'm saying is, fellas, we bad about this shit too. I used to be bad about this shit.
Right.
And when I post this live episode on Facebook and when people listen, I wish somebody would call me out and say and talk about me. Because hey, I'll admit, I fucked around and settled with some shit right there and there. You know, I'm not saying no name. You know, I caught myself dating one girl a while back. This was back in, I think, 2012 or something like that. Man, it wasn't even fucking worth the damn 2013. Wasn't even fucking worth the damn time, dog. All the fuck she wanted to do was just, all the else she wanted to do was just eat and smoke goddamn weed. And you know,
and I think
that was all. Huh?
All of us men make that same mistake in terms of someone that we shouldn't have got with to begin with. I think every woman makes that mistake, getting with somebody that they shouldn't have got with. But the problem is when you procreate with that, is when you invest long term with people that you shouldn't be with. And in getting on that, relationships and raising your kids go hand in hand, because if you got a fucked up relationship with your dude, a lot of times the kid, it can. I'm not saying it has, because some people can have fucked up relationships with the dad, and both of them happen to raise their kids right together.
Right.
But a lot of that goes hand in hand. So you do make great points, man.
Hell yeah. And, you know,
but to get on the subject. Go ahead.
You know, but go ahead.
Excuse me. But to get on the subject at hand, there's a video of this guy not only beating his kid's ass, but he cuts this girl's hair off, and he does it all this stuff on live. The girl did in particular. Obviously, she did something bad, but the thing is, this is a girl. You cutting a girl's hair off on TV, and this is the second time I've seen a kid get a fucked up haircut. This man went past discipline. This man humiliated this girl on Facebook. Now you got some people in the comment section, well, she needed her ass beat, and you got some people that rightfully so that said this motherfucker is a piece of shit for embarrassing this little girl, just cutting her hair off. She's an evil stepchild. And I say to that dude, you need an ass whooping. You need every ass whooping you could possibly get, because that shit is uncalled for. It's one thing.
You need to be shot.
Yeah, it's one thing to discipline your kids. I have no problem with you disciplining your kids. You know what I'm saying? If you whoop their ass and then talk to them, I'm in agreement with that. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes the kids do need to be talked to after they get an ass whooping, and sometimes they're getting their ass whooped for. So explanation is not needed in some cases. But the thing is, for you to humiliate the kids, and I'm gonna say this because I said it on the last live stream. Stop whooping your kids on live internet. That there is no more bitch made shit. It's that was some attention whore shit. Like, you really care about your kids. When that kid grows up to see that, she's gonna want to kill this dude. When she realized, I mean, this is the type of shit that will have people committing suicide. This is the type of shit that depresses people, because you know that you getting your ass whooped on live. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop doing that attention for bullshit. And again, there's nothing wrong with disciplining your kids.
No, it's not.
But to air it out on live internet, where the internet got more viewers than television these days. You know what I'm saying? Whereas in the 90s, where we were growing up in the mid 90s, late 90s, the internet was just not getting popping. You know what I'm saying? But it's more people that pay attention to live streams and internet now than television these days. So we gotta cut that bullshit out. We gotta cut that attention whoring bullshit out, man. To where, because back in the day, you got whooped in public, but the thing is, you ain't got no camera phone all over the goddamn place like you did back in the day. And then very few people had camcorders, because the motherfucker was like $500, $1,000.
Damn.
These fucking days, everybody got a fucking camera phone. You know what I'm saying? It's very few people that don't have a camera phone. Attention whore ass bullshit, man. You got anything you want to say to this before we jump on to the next subject?
Bro, it really, man, you know, with shit like that, dude, I don't like talking about that, but what you said, dude, did some attention whore shit. And it really goes on with, you know, as I said about which would be the next thing here I'm gonna address, the follow-up to the fuck boy, fuck girl syndrome on social media, Facebook. What he did was some boy shit. And even fuck boys will even say, yeah, that's fucked up. You know? But I mean, if I had children and if I whooped their ass, I whooped your ass. I'm not gonna put it out there on Facebook or anybody else for viewing pleasure, or let alone like what all our parents used to do, get on the fucking phone and tell everybody what you had to whoop their ass about. You know, and really, and then when you think about it, some of our parents did some more fuck boy and fuck girl shit too before everybody else did what they doing now. So,
but the thing is, when our parents did fuck boy shit, and My mom did some fuck shit. My dad did some fuck shit when he was living with me for the first 11 years, and then my mother ultimately raised me by herself with 4 other siblings. But she did some fuck shit. I mean, I'm not gonna sit up there and say my mother. You know, I give my mother respect for raising me the best she could. You know what I'm saying? Without my dad there. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I think you. I think you need to move yourself out. Move yourself out real quick.
Can you hear me?
Or I can hear you now. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Our parents did fuck shit, but the whole world, the whole neighborhood didn't know the fuck shit that was going on.
True.
The whole world, dude. If you can do some fuck shit now, and the shit will you'll have 100,000 views within seconds of you doing it now. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many people filming shit. It's so many motherfuckers got a camera phone these days. There's so many motherfuckers putting shit on Facebook Live. You got motherfuckers that's having sex in public and putting that shit on Facebook Live, and that's no bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
You have motherfuckers doing that these days. You have motherfuckers putting their personal business on porn star. That's a whole nother ball game because that's what porn stars do. But if you're a regular bald-headed, onion head ass nigga like me, who's a 9-to-5 nigga, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck you doing? You know what I'm saying? No.
Yeah. Man.
What the fuck? So we our parents were fucked up in its own way because it affects the community now. Let's not get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? But as it is now, this generation took the cake from the last generation. You know what I'm saying? So every generation deserves some type of criticism when it comes to Black society. We're not even denying that, you know. But this shit going on, putting shit on Facebook Live and Twitter and Instagram, this some uncalled for shit, man.
Hell yeah.
Let's get on your subject. Let's get on your subject. You want to do a follow up on the fuck shit? You know what I'm saying? Kind of similar. Go ahead.
Yeah. First, let me give a big shout out to my boy Trey Murphy on this. He has his own thing, Trey Styles Custom. Some sewing and design. He does t-shirts and with different teams and stuff like that. Get him a holler on Facebook. But it's kind of, when we went live one night, he posted up the following morning that he went through some more fuckboy shit where somebody inboxed him because I guess they didn't get the order in time or something, whatever technical holdup was or something like that. He said that a guy inboxed him and told him, hey man, don't worry, hey, you keep that money, don't worry, just send my order, don't worry about the money or all this other little shit. And the fuckboy, and I'm gonna tell you what the fuckboy shit he did to my boy Trey. I sent him on Facebook and then turn around block so he can't reply. See, what was we talking about right then and there about when I said about the Neil King dude? Fuckboy shit.
Yeah, that's crazy shit right there, bro.
That's crazy shit. If you gonna do business with a person, look, don't get on there, don't inbox them. Don't inbox their ass and shit, and then turn around, block them so they can't reply, or let alone you block them from Messenger. You just make the other person look good when you're doing that. So I mean, and I told my boy Trey, I said, hey man, they do some dude did some old fuck, but he did some old fuck boy shit. You got some fuck boy and fuck girl shit on there. And yes, women, and yes, ladies, y'all do some fuck girl shit that's beyond belief, just like the men do. So y'all not exempt from being called one. But yeah, so he did it, and I told him, I said, man, the same shit old boy did was just something what me and you, what you and I talked about the other day. So I'm gonna say this: if you're gonna do business with somebody, and like he said, if you have an issue about something, inbox me and allow me the time to respond back. Don't just inbox. Don't inbox any person. This go for anybody. Don't inbox a person. Then you turn around and block them. You don't do nothing to make yourself look like a bunch of cowed ass bitches, which some of y'all are right now. Just social media, like I said, social media has made us grown people look weak, dog. But
I agree.
But like I said, my boy Trey, he was the better person on that shit though, bro. Cause dude didn't do nothing but made my boy Trey look good. You know? That's the shit that killed me. All this little fuck girl, all this fuck boy shit on Facebook. Sometimes I wish we didn't have Facebook. But then again, hey, you know, it is what it is. Because a lot of things, you know, because like I said, social media can be a help and a hindrance.
Yeah, especially if you're already socially awkward too.
Yeah.
Hey, mute out your background. Mute out your background. Some in your background that's keep on having the echo. But yeah, man. Yeah, but yeah, it can be, especially if you're already socially awkward person. Social media can make it worse than what it really is and shit like that. So, man, I just wish people would be professional, like they be professional with other businesses and stuff like that. Now I know sometimes black businesses can be janky and stuff like that. I get being upset about that, but we give more leeway to other groups of people than we do our own people and stuff like that. And if that person had an issue with Trey, because Trey, I see what Trey be talking about. Trey Murphy, he's a real thorough guy. Trey, and I believe he's the type of person you can talk to, man. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of things we agree on, a lot of things we disagree on, but we respect each other at the end of the day. So if there was something to where he could have addressed to him, address it to Troy Murphy. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know him like you know him, but I know when I respond to him or talk to him, he's logical. He's a person that you can talk to. That much I do know about him. You know what I'm saying? I might not have a close relationship with him like you do, Craig, but he's a person you can talk to.
Yeah, that was unnecessary. You know, but you know, for the record, you know, he kind of, you know, I won't get into detail about it. You know, you know what I mean? Because hey, he going through a tough time as it is. You know, trying to catch things up on his end. But I mean, just people just got to learn how to work with him. You know, like you said, now his business ain't janky now, but you know, like I remember time he told me some dude insulted him.
Oh yeah.
Hey, a dude insulted him in his face, man, and Terrence told him, man, well, I tell you what, then, Doc, take your motherfucking ass on over there. Then, what's that store? Pro Image T-shirts over in South Lamar, I guess, or something like that. Okay. The guy, from what Terrence was telling me, Trey, that's, you know, what Trey told me, I said his real name. He was telling me and a couple other guys that, you know, he showed this dude all the little shirts and everything. Now, Terrence does his own shit. It's nothing, it ain't nothing janky. I mean, it's fucking authentic. Hey, my mom's and pops bought something from him, you know. Good, and my mom still wear her Raider scarf and the cap to this day that he made. And shit, he does good work. So, dude cut him he cut this guy a good deal on some t-shirts, and it was something like, you know, gave a nice little discount on him because he told me, he said, he told me like, well, I sell him. I'm impersonating. He like I'm impersonating him. I sell him to you. I sell them to you. I normally charge by like, I'm just saying, I guess I said 15 or something like that. So I normally charge them like 15, but I normally charge you 15 and whatnot. But look here, Doc, I'll go ahead and cut you a little deal or whatever. I can save you about 4 for the one price. You get the other one half off. You know, he told him that. So the dude talking about, man, I can just go over there to Pro Image, man, and give me about 3 shirts and this thing, man, for about like $18, man. Nobody want none of this shit you said look like some of that bootleg shit, dog. Yes. And Trey can tell you the story himself. The dude insulted his product by calling it bootleg. If it's so much bootleg, when Terrence and Fed how come this dude made he made 3 weeks worth of pay, 3 weeks worth of pay in 1 week at FedEx from selling his shit. And he will tell your ass, much like I am, yep. I don't do no hookups. Cause like my pops tried to fuck him up one time. He's gonna tell me, well, just tell him go ahead and make it for me. You his friend. No, he don't work like that. Just because that's my partner and everything, I ain't no favors done. And you ain't gonna get no favors. That's just the way it is. You ain't, I told my pops, you're not above beyond nobody. Just because somebody, a mutual friend or acquaintance with me, don't mean I gotta fuck up their business because of you. No, you pay just like everybody else do. And that's the motto with anybody. But but like I said, Trey tell the motherfucker around the back, take your ass on. You don't like my product. The dude do damn good work, man. And it's just the fact that we just got these little shade tree ass niggas that want to try to fuck over people such as him. Because this man can go above and beyond, make a big ass 49er team quit with the full roster on it. And the motherfucker won't be too pleased. I'm just saying. Yeah. But like you said, but yeah, Murph logical and everything. But yeah, he incurred that old fuck boy shit. And I told him, I said, man, hey, that's that fuck boy shit. Fuck him.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't deal with fuck boys, like somebody want to call me, well, what fuck boy shit have I done? Name it. Couldn't tell me.
Exactly.
But like I said, all this fuck boy and fuck girl shit, y'all niggas need to stop this shit on social media. For real. And by the way, Jimmy, we give a big shout out to the Cobras, Mr. and Miss Colbert from the Touch by Hands cleaning service, and Sherbert Ratliff, man. They appreciate the shout outs and they say they enjoyed the show, man. And I got some nice little comments from Rochelle's husband. He put the 100 on it 3 times. So, and Rochelle said she loved every bit of what we talked about in that show.
Most definitely.
Much thanks to them, man, especially to the Sherb, Miss Ratliff herself. And make a correction on something. It's Sherbert Ratliff Professional Hair Care. I said something else, so she had to correct me on that one. But yeah, they all 3 of them they enjoyed the show, and I know Rochelle was like, Rochelle want more. So your request has been granted, Rochelle. You're gonna get more Jimmy and Craig, and I'm announcing it on here. Thanks to you, Jimmy. I may be in the works and having something, my own livecast coming out called Let's Draw on Something. It's gonna be next month, but I don't know when next month. So
most definitely. Let's jump on the sports thing. And I'm looking at the scores. This is college basketball. Duke was upsetted by Boston College yesterday. I forgot to mention it yesterday.
Murph,
and I love every minute.
My bad, Jimmy. But that just, hey, anytime when Duke loses, when the puke devils lose, it just puts a good warmth in my heart, man. It really does. It puts a good warmth in my heart, puts a smile on my face. I love it. I love it. I loved it. And I love the fact that a team like Boston College, who has given Duke hell ever since they've been in the ACC, I just love it. It warms my heart. It warms not only my heart, but it warms Trey Murphy's heart. It put a smile on his face when I told him that Boston College beat Duke. They beat them. And I got to give props to that Lawson dude, man. He wasn't going out like no sucker to Grayson Allen. 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists, and he plays the point forward position.
Yeah,
Jimmy, that warmed my heart. I'm a North Carolina Tar Heel fan, and that warmed my heart when Duke got beat. That warmed my heart to see Grayson Allen walk away all salty. Didn't even shake no hands or nothing. But I caught from the press conference though. I may not like Duke, but I got a lot of respect for Coach K. Coach K, he's a Chicago dude, and he keep it real. He just said, "Yeah, we just got." He said, "Yeah, we just got beat." He said, "We got to work on our defense." He said, "We just got to work on our defense."
But you know what? He got talent this year. I think his team,
he got talent.
He got a top 5 recruiting class. But what I like about Coach K, you know, and I can't stand Duke, by the way. You know what I'm saying? But
okay,
the thing I like about Coach K is he built those kids into real deal basketball, not only basketball players, but into great citizens. Because I think he got one of the highest graduation rates in history. You know what I'm saying? One of them. Outside of the guys that jumped straight to the NBA, all of his 4-year players has like a 98% graduation rate. The ones that stay for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Even some of the ones that jumped to the NBA, they eventually graduated. So he really cares about his players. You know what I'm saying? He want to make sure that those kids walk across the stage.
Yeah, he does. I mean, and I told a certain acquaintance of mine at Trey Murphy's about Coach K, and they didn't give a fuck what we got to say. And I'm not gonna spoil nothing. And here's no side note on that. I ain't jump off. Well, let's stick with the top. Let's go back to college basketball score because I'm going to point something out about some of these so-called female sports fans. But let's continue on that. I'm gonna say that one for later.
Okay. Tennessee barely beat David Lipscomb. Wow, barely. And 10 points. You know, that's the score. Don't indicate how close that game was. Wichita State beat Oklahoma State in Stillwater. A&M did their thing versus Prairie View. No surprise. There, Cincinnati gave Florida all the fits they needed, but Florida still won. Good game though. You know what I'm saying? Arkansas upset at Minnesota, number 14. Rick Pitino Jr. He's actually got Rick Pitino's real name. He goes by Richard Pitino, but he's really Richard Pitino.
Looks just like his dad, like mannerisms and everything.
That if Richard stays at Minnesota, he's gonna build something into a phenom. I just hope he don't make the same mistake Slick Rick. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I love me some fucking Rick Pitino. Rick Pitino is one of my favorite coaches.
Hey, who don't?
But he gotta hold his own
on the same day, dog.
He gotta hold his own nuts for that fuck shit he did though. He got to hold his own nuts.
He admitted
I can't co-sign what you did, Rick, but I love you. There's no I love you.
I love Rick Pitino too, man. I met the man, what was that, when they had the Conference USA back in, that's when they was part of Conference USA. I met the dude. Hey, I met the dude in person, man. Hey, he looked better in person than he do on TV. I ain't saying to be gay, but the man real. That man tall as fuck. He may look short as hell on TV, but hey, he tall as hell, man, for real. So, and Coach K keep it real. Coach K, Slick Rick keep it real too. Now he made.
Oh yeah.
Let Kevin McHale ain't walking through that door. Hey, he keep it real. Like with him and Calipari, like Calipari said threw some shade at him. Rick threw it right back and kept going. That's one thing I like about Slick Rick. He threw it right back and kept going.
Yeah, but the thing would be,
but with that
you got background
shit, but you know, but that Adidas shit, because I shared the article on Sports Talk. Yeah, he gonna have to hold on up to that along with the former AD too. But you got to give, on that subject, you got to give Jurek credit, man, because he basically was trying. Yeah, Louisville don't have a professional sports team at all. Okay, but he really was trying to put Louisville and build Louisville as a brand. You know, a college team with a professional sports team feel to it. You know, I give him that. But I still say, though, I think the worst thing that happened beside that Adidas scandal, they should have never moved. They should have never moved the Cardinals from Freedom Hall to that little ugly ass KFC or something. That shit ugly as hell. It's just something about Freedom Hall, man, that I don't know.
And Freedom Hall had that professional vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those things, those stadiums that it was hard to play at fucking Freedom Hall.
Yeah.
They had like an 87% win rate at Freedom Hall. Very few teams won consistently. I think the only time Memphis started winning at Freedom Hall was when Larry Finch was there. You know, Larry Finch got most of the wins at Freedom Hall as a Memphis Tiger coach, because prior to 1973, in which the Tigers went to their first NCAA championship game, they only had one win prior to 1973, and Dana Kirk won only one time as the head coach of Memphis at Freedom Hall, and that was like he won twice there, excuse me, and both of those times was in 1985. But Larry Finch won there consistently. You know, he won the first two games at Freedom Hall, then he won in 1989. He won in 1990, 91. He won pretty often out there as the head coach at Memphis, but you don't see.
And Derek Crum also.
Go ahead.
And you also got to understand, Derek Crum was losing his touch too. So.
Well, what it was the high post offense was outdated offense. It was good when it didn't have the 3-point line. When Louisville when the 3-point line didn't exist, it was a pretty good offense because you know high post, high low. You know what I'm saying? Pass it in, pass it out. Pass it in, pass it out. But when they started having full court presses, like Memphis did to him, like Larry Finch used to kill Louisville with that full court press, with that 1-3-1. He sped the game up. So Denny Crum, even though he was not a fan of the 3-point shot, because he came out before and he said, man, I think the 3-point shot is cheap. It cheapens the game of basketball. But the thing was, the 3-point line was in the NBA for like 7 years at the particular time. So the game had to change. But that's when you started seeing teams like Arkansas, teams like Providence, which Rick Pitino coached at the time, that went to the Final Four that very same year. You saw teams like that flourish. Any Rick Pitino team, they have always had a good 3-point shooting team because they ran that full court press and they ran an up and down style to where it, like all the teams that was running the high post offense, the same high post offense. The same high post offense the Memphis Grizzlies ran for all those years with Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol. They ran that very same UCLA.
I call it smash. I call it the Earnhardt Perkins offense of basketball.
Yeah, so they ran that for all those years, but the problem with them running that high post is they didn't have no 3-point shooters. And in today's NBA, you have to have a threatening 3-point game to run the high post offense. I know the Cleveland Cavs, they run it from time to time, but they mix it up with a little bit of up and down basketball. Like their half court sets is mostly high post. You know what I'm saying? And which is why I've been saying for years, the Cleveland Cavs is gonna lose another NBA Finals if they don't get a fucking real center. Let me just jump off subject real quick. The Cleveland fucking Cavaliers need to fucking trade what's that boy named? That Thompson boy.
Hell yeah.
They need to trade the shit out this motherfucker.
Hey, by the way, hold on. By the way, big shout out to Chick TV because he reported that shit too. Fucking stealing, like he said, you stealing fucking $8 million from Cleveland, and your ass ain't doing shit. Talking about you want to be the $6 million a year. Man, get your old simp ass deadbeat motherfucking ass on somewhere. You gonna leave your damn wife for what you call
Kardashian.
And she's pregnant.
And he deserved every problem that the Kardashian could possibly give him for that fuck boy, coon ass, tap dancing, Gene Kelly, Xanadu tap dancing ass motherfucker for that bullshit. I don't feel sorry for Tristan Thompson. They need to trade that motherfucker for DeMarcus Cousins. They need to go down to New Orleans and get one of those big men out there. So because the Cleveland, that dude, let me tell you something about that guy from
they're talking about trading that man for DeAndre Jordan.
Are they?
But Doc can't do shit with him.
But you know what? That would be a damn good trade because you know what? You got a rebounder. You got a guy you could pass the ball to in the post. I co-sign that trade. They need to go for it. They either need to do one.
Yeah, I don't like. I don't like Cleveland. I don't like the dude that everybody's saying that. that's better than Jordan. But yeah, I approve that trade any fucking day. Because Tristan Thompson, man, that little goon ass son of a bitch, fucking going, sit stealing
Please trade that
$80 million
motherfucker.
motherfucking dollars. Huh?
Big LeBron fan, man. So please trade this motherfucker to goddamn
But that's his boy though. See, that's his boy.
Don't matter if he's a liability to the team. Hell, fucking Kyrie Irving was his boy, but they wanted to get rid of him.
But now I'm gonna tell you what it is. And see, a lot of folks got mad when I said this shit. I said what it was. This is what I told him. I said what it was. Because I had some fuckboy on Facebook. I'm telling me, Kyrie was sorry anyway. I said no. Kyrie realized how cold it is in LeBron's shadow, so he need to step out of it. And I agree.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one though, Craig, because the thing was, without LeBron James, Kyrie wouldn't have a championship right now. He would not be doing shit for Boston right now. Let's just put that out there. He needed LeBron to show him how to win a championship. Just like Dwayne Wade, him going down to Miami was the best thing he could have ever did. Yeah. Because he needed to know how to win. Sometimes you need to get the fuck out of town to learn how to really win consistently. That's the reason why I don't fault Kevin Durant for leaving Golden State. Nigga, you done went to 4 fucking conference finals with Russell Westhaven, as I call him. This motherfucker done went to 4 conference finals, and you losing game 6, game 7. You lost in the close game 5. May as well call them losing to Dallas was game 7 too, because all those games was just like the Memphis Grizzlies series. They were close and they could have.
I'm put it like this. Russell Westbrook really cost. Now that year when OKC went to the finals, not only did Russell Westbrook cost Durant a chance at the title, but it was OKC management, because them motherfuckers got rid of James Harden when they got rid of James Harden when them fools made it to play. I'm like, what the fuck they do that for?
And not just that. Not just that. James Harden wanted to stay at OKC. He waited an extra day to take the contract. He waited an extra day to accept the contract because you have 30 days for the team to match an offer. You have 30 days for your team to match.
And then the ownership. And I remember Skip Bayless said something about the owner chose Shannon Sharp, because Shannon asked him what was OKC's reason for getting rid of Harden. He just said, and Skip said it politely. He said it was a real BS excuse that the ownership gave. Because I'll tell you something, OKC's ownership kind of fucked up too. But that's another subject, another time. But Russell Westbrook costed the.
Go ahead and say it now. Go ahead and say it now, because I don't think go ahead and say the ownership on that end. Go ahead and talk about that.
Ownership, man, they fickle. They cater to their one thing. West Haven. It was all about what, and okay, and then like with Durant, okay, they went up 2-0 on that Miami Heat team in 2012, and then like my boy, I'm gonna give a big shout out to Mario Smith. He said Russell Westbrook, I call him Brick. Russell Westbrook has a bad tendency to start playing that me ball.
Exactly, that's what
Westbrook started playing. Hold up. When Westbrook started playing that me ball in that final, that was it. When Westbrook started playing that me ball against Golden State and Serge Ibaka had to bail their ass out, he damn near bailed their ass out by themselves. And I remember watching this damn thing. Somebody called me.
Just tell them you're on live. Text them and say you're on live right now. But go ahead. But go ahead.
Serge Ibaka damn near bailed them out, man. The hell? He damn near bailed. What the fuck, Jimmy?
I'm here.
Okay. Now somebody fucked around and called me, man. So.
It's cool, man. Just let them know you're on live. That's all, man. It's cool.
Hold on. Somebody fucking called me. Hello? Okay. I'm gonna kick my partner's ass about that shit. Don't fucking call me on the live feed and they do it anyway. Damn.
Okay, let's talk this shit, man. Now get back to what you were saying, sir.
Yeah.
Craig, let's get back to what you were saying.
Man, I forgot what the fuck I was talking about, man. Motherfucker had to call me on the damn phone on the live feed.
Serge Ibaka bailed the OKC out in Russell Westhaven. That's what you were talking about.
Okay. Now I got the Bluetooth on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you live and direct.
Shit. Yeah. Serge Ibaka basically had to bail their ass out.
I agree.
Finals, okay.
I agree. Because
I'm making business.
Okay, yeah, but so I totally
agree. He basically had to bail their ass out against Golden State that year.
Yeah, and the thing that killed me about OKC, as I call them, Choklahoma City, is the year they lost to Miami. Player of the year on the same team, the sixth man of the year in James Harden on the same team, and the MVP in the same fucking year. All on the same team. And I don't know when the last time that has happened. Celtics back in the day did when I think the first championship they won versus Boston. That was Houston. The last time. Yeah, the first championship they won. They had the sixth man year in the MVP all on the same fucking team.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And you didn't re-sign those guys because James Harden really wanted to stay at OKC, but the ownership fucked that up.
Yeah,
they could have had a fucking. They could have been what Golden State was. That fuck shit, man.
Yep. And by the way, then I've been pretty skeptical on this cat by the name of Victor Oladipo, right?
Yeah.
Didn't Oladipo beat LeBron Friday?
I think so.
He did. Where was the same Victor Oladipo at with OKC last year? What the fuck?
Because I'll tell you this. With Oladipo, when last year Russell Westbrook was doing a lot of ball hogging a lot of times too, though. I'm not going to.
He does now.
And point the finger at Oladipo because the dude was trying to be triple-double every fucking night and shit like that. So when you're dealing with Russell Westbrook, your production is going to go down. Why you think that OKC is currently in fucking ninth place in the fucking standings right now? Right now, as we speak. They're in fucking ninth place right now. With the future
Paul George and
Carmelo Anthony, who's a future Hall of Famer in his own right. You know what I'm saying? Say what you want about Carmelo Anthony. He's the first ballot Hall of Famer once he.
Hey, but what did I tell you? What did I tell you and Corey Wolf? What's going on? What did I tell you and Corey Wolf on Sports Talk about having Paul George and Carmelo on the same team? That is not gonna fucking work. That ain't gonna work.
Hell, having Carmelo and Russell Westhaven on the same team wasn't gonna work to begin with.
I'd rather have Paul George and Carmelo on the same team than to have Russell with them. Russell don't do nothing but bring them down, man. He don't. That's all. He bring them down because he was like that at UCLA. Because he would cause UCLA a shitload of games, man. But that's when that team when they had Kevin Love and everybody, they were stacked. And them motherfuckers couldn't beat Memphis. You fucking kidding me? Yeah, so what? Yeah. Memphis had Cal the Crook and Derrick Rose and Chris Douglas Roberts. But still, UCLA had the deeper team, had Kevin Love and Russell Westbrook, and these suckers lost to Memphis twice in a row. Come on. And they were the better team. But yeah, Oladipo, man, he good player, but see, he was trying to be like the Victor Oladipo down there in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
So, But man, and also let me talk about and let me talk about what we saw last night. Well, I didn't watch it last night because I am so sick of it. And everybody always want to fuck around and call me Mr. ESPN. Look, fuck y'all. I'm not. I ain't like that. I just with the sports things and stuff going on with it. If I see if it's on my Google feed or whatever, I report it.
Yeah.
I share it. Uh, we all knew Baker Mayfield was gonna fucking win the Heisman. I question that because, like I said, Rashawn Golden from the Vols, he got on Kirk Herbstreit's ass on Twitter because Kirk Herbstreit talking about congrats to my man Baker Mayfield and all this other little stuff. Okay, so Golden tweeted back, and the more response you read between the lines, Golden had said that you called the kettle black. I said hit it, Mayfield. If I ain't mistaken, we did make one Mayfield involved on several off the field incidents. One of them was a fight, and then turned around. He got stopped by the police, but he had a drunk driving incident. Then turned around when he got caught by the police. He tried to run from their ass.
Yeah,
but yet and still, this y'all Heisman winner. That's why I said congratulations to ESPN's pet project for winning the Heisman. Here you got a dude, Lamar Jackson, who played better this year than he did when he won the Heisman last year. He got sacked less this year than he did last year. You ain't heard not once. This man, and I said on Twitter, you ain't heard not once, and I tagged you on it. Not once did you hear anything about Lamar Jackson getting caught drunk driving or getting caught trying to run from the police or having issues with coaches like we don't know, like it was forced by Baker Mayfield's parents to not bring that no network is to not bring up the incident between him and TCU's coach Gary Patterson. So excuse me. So I don't know what went down on that one, but his dad, Baker's dad vehemently said that don't even bring that up. He said, in fact, y'all don't need to bring that up no more because I said so. I don't know what happened between Baker Mayfield and Gary Patterson, but Gary talked about it in length and said that it was Baker's attitude. It's just how he carried himself, just come on out with it. And he didn't get into no further detail about that. But anytime when a parent want to demand that no network, not even Fox Sports can't talk about it, or anybody not bring that up, it must be more to the story. So
I agree.
So I mean, come on.
I totally agree.
Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield over Lamar Jackson. But I guess the way they're going to look at it, they're going to shoot on Lamar by saying, oh, well, Lamar played on a team that struggled. Yeah, he lost his top receiver. This man worked with what the fuck he got. Offensive line playing a bit better. Louisville's defense ain't about shit.
Yeah,
but,
I agree.
But I mean, I got, even though Rashawn with his little jive turkey ass, he flipped off the Alabama fans. I agree with the point he made about with Herbert, man. He said, why is you gonna praise this man, but then you gonna tell me that I gonna go on the air and say that I need to be kicked off the team sitting at home eating popcorn.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. But so Goldston Rashawn had every right to call that man out on that. I called Herbie out on some things too. I didn't get in an argument with him. You see, he said he did say some good things. He said some bad things, but this one here, I ain't gonna entertain with Herbie though, man. He talked bad about JT Barrett, about his leadership and all that shit. He talked bad about everybody else, but ain't half these dudes going to the NFL though. That man didn't even last long in the NFL.
Yeah, so that's crazy, dude. It's crazy, brother.
But when you was talking about earlier about basketball, Tennessee and Dayton, Dayton is not one team you don't never sleep on, dog. They good every year. Dayton can start off the year 1-4
Yeah.
and end up being a 5th seed, a 4th seed in NCAA with a 30-5 record.
That's crazy, man.
So, but yeah, also now speaking of, I ain't gonna say what Oregon did with some F boy shit and it wasn't no fuck boy stuff neither, but you kind of knew that was coming. Mario Cristobal being named the head coach for Oregon. I mean, yeah, because like I said in the group, and y'all agreed, one, Pat Knight did that to keep Willie from taking him down there with him. Now, Slick Willie already got the defensive staff going down to Florida State. They glad about that because he addressed what was needed in the press conference. Said evidently we need to work on the offensive line and defense. Okay, that's 1 out of 2. So now you got to get an offensive line coach that's just about as good as Mario Cristobal, and don't nobody know who he is. Mario Cristobal was the architect for 2 of the best offensive lines during Alabama's championship seasons. He also took over Florida International program when Norv Turner's brother Ron was acting like a douchebag. He would admit that he admitted that he was smoking a joint before the game, and when Mario Cristobal was serving the interim, Florida International was already losing. He get Florida International to a bowl, but Mario had left them because they didn't offer him the job. So Butch Davis took over years later, so he's doing pretty good now. And what they said his first, I don't know how many years Butch been there, but he got him to a bowl game this year. So, but either way, it's a double-edged sword with that between Oregon and Florida State. Florida State getting them a good coach, and I was explaining to Trey Murphy, he's a Florida State fan. I said, Will is a good coach. I said, but my problem is, there's a fine line being conservative and too conservative. I said, Will to be the latter and looked on his face, he gives no fucks. That's what's going to hurt.
Yeah.
You can't be too conservative. You cannot be too conservative in the ACC, especially in the games that matter. But I give Jim Leavitt enough, and see, Jim Leavitt, that was a big addition. Here, why?
Mm-hmm.
Oregon had the worst defense last year in the Pac-12. They really had they really had the lower mid-tier worst in the nation last year. These fools finished in the top 10 nationally in defense under him.
Yeah.
Now
I agree, man.
What kind of
I mean, I agree with what you're saying, man. You have a good assessment there.
Yeah, I mean, so with Leavitt, Florida State, they getting them a good defensive coach because anytime you could turn one of the worst defenses in the Pac-12 to a top 5 in your conference and let alone somewhere in the top 10 in the nation, you doing good. I mean, shit, you doing good. So, and did you hear about Jimbo's reason as to why he threw a little shade at Florida State by saying that that the alumni nor the fans didn't support him, so he left. He left because of the money. I'm like, wow. Like, okay.
I'm like, dude, you could have gotten a contract extension at Florida State and would have dwarfed fucking Texas A&M. Texas A&M was able to pull out that kind of money because there's a lot of doctors, university, and all those others are able to pull out the money to do that. Because there's a lot of doctors that go to A&M because basically all those little areas are pretty much Houston metro area.
Yeah.
You can drive all the way to Surfside Beach and that'll take an hour, 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So College Station is basically Houston.
That's why I was going to ask how far is that from Houston. So it's just basically like how Chicago is. Like you got like Waukegan, Illinois, and Skokie, and all that little stuff.
Yeah, so that's basically what it is because you got a 10,000 square miles metropolitan area. It's a lot of A&M fans around this area. From what it seems like, there's more A&M fans around this area than it is Houston Cougars. Or just as many, I should say. different major universities, D1 schools in Houston that I'm not even going to think off the top of my head, but it is what it is. It's just that many major D1 universities out here. But with A&M, they got a long upstanding alumni, you know what I'm saying, in terms of doctors and all that good shit. So they're able to pull out the money, that kind of money. But the question is, keep maintain the Houston area in terms of recruiting. Can he go into other cities in Texas and recruit just like he did at Florida State? Because let's be clear, Florida State, you got North Florida. Pretty much, North Florida is going to be Florida State's territory. Then you got Southern Georgia. Then you got the southern part of South Carolina. Then you have Southern Alabama. You got that little area, the little Gulf Coast region, the northeast side of the northeast side of Florida, little Florida Panhandle, the upper region of that little area. But anyway,
but I'm gonna tell, but that belongs to Willie now, though.
Yeah, but let me finish my thought here.
Okay.
Area that pisses on A&M because A&M is basically limited to Texas for the most part. You get a few Louisiana guys, but that's not as bad. That is not as good as fucking Florida State's territory. Florida State, they've been having a top 5 recruiting class year in and year out. I'm gonna say this live on air. If this dude have a bad season within the next 4 years, they're gonna find an excuse to fire Slick Willie. I'm gonna tell you that right now. With 4 straight top 5 recruiting classes, I think he was number 2 that national championship year or year before last. He was number 2 at some point, but they're gonna find an excuse to fire this guy because this guy's going there with a fucking gold mine. Jimbo left. They had the number 9 recruiting class before Jimbo left. So all of a sudden, you're going to take your number 9 recruiting class and you're going to leave to fucking Texas A&M.
Which is led.
Because I don't think A&M was, let me go to Rivals.com real quick. Just give me a second. Because I don't think A&M was even in the top 10.
No.
Rivals, football.
Because when you think about it, when you think about it, though, Willie went to a gold mine and Jimbo left for lead.
I agree. And I'm not shitting on Houston because there are some good-ass football players in the Houston area. But you can't compare that to North Florida. You can't compare that to South Georgia. You can't compare that at all. What the fuck is this?
Now Willie got that area sold up now.
I totally agree. Willie got that area all sold up. Let me see. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Let me 2008 recruiting team rankings. It's taking a minute to load.
Okay, but a coworker of mine, he made a good point about something. He said now that with Florida State having Willie Taggart, he said, don't be surprised if DeAndre Francois leave. I would not put it past for Francois to leave, man. And the Blackman dude start. That's Willie's starter right there. But you just gotta get that man offensive line, you know.
I agree. Alabama is currently number 11 in the recruiting class. A&M is not even in the top, nowhere near. Damn, and Florida State dropped because they were number 9. Okay, currently A&M is 29 in terms of. This is as of right now. A&M is 29 in recruiting currently. Damn, Florida State dropped.
Wow.
Heavily. Number 43 in recruiting. They dropped that fast. So some people that didn't decommitted. That's what it sounds like. Because Ohio State's number 1, University of Miami is number 2, them down South Georgia boys number 3, Penn State number 4, Texas is number 5, number 6,
Penn State always gonna have a top 5 recruit class, man. Look who the coach.
Well, he can recruit though. He can recruit because he's at a public school. Whereas when you're at a private school, it's harder to recruit at a private school than it is at a public school, especially, with them a lot of these private schools not relaxing.
Right.
Their academic standards. Like Miami can recruit because you all in Miami Central. You know what I'm saying? You got all those top guys in that Southern Florida region. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of private schools up in there too. Fort Lauderdale, St. Aquinas, I think they call it.
Yeah.
So that little area, that little school out there. You know what I'm saying? But when you got a private school, that it's hard to recruit at a private school like you can at a public school. You know what I'm saying? Not to say you can't recruit, because that Notre Dame team, I think they was like ranked number 3, and they end up going to the national championship against Alabama. You know what I'm saying? That recruiting class, Notre Dame is number 9. Okay, Auburn's number 7. I jumped off. Auburn's number 7, Oregon's number 8, Notre Dame's number 9, and LSU rounds out the top 10. But
LSU doing that recruiting.
Well, they get a lot of those big guys out of Houston too.
Yeah.
So that plays a factor too. They get a lot of South Texas, between that South Texas and Gulf Coast region. So
yeah, and speaking of Jimbo, man, I'm gonna tell you where his downfall has started. And I was telling my boy Trey Murphy about this one, and he agreed. His downfall started when he got Everett Golston. And he had a proven backup with this cat by the name of Sean McGuire. Dude was 6'4". Man was built like a tight end, but the boy had an arm. He was for his size, he was a dual threat quarterback. The man had an arm, then he could run the ball. But when he got Everett Golston, he hurried up and put Everett Golston in and started Everett Golston up. And Golston, I'm put like this, he had his moments, but let's face it, the boy sucked in that offense. Okay, see, when Golston got hurt, Sean McGuire stepped in, man, and took that offense over. They would catch the receivers, all of a sudden they were catching balls and all this other little stuff. And when McGuire knew a blitz was coming, what you gonna do? When you know blitz coming, you gonna run. And McGuire ran, and that big boy was hard to tackle. Golston, man, he was sucking. So that's where his downfall started. And then when he left, and Golston, they said, he came out a month later and said why his reason was why he left the team. Because he said his grandma died or something like that. And then Jimbo knew about it too. And Jimbo, he can, they want to say to Jimbo like Nick Saban with the media. Nick Saban ain't as big as a dick with the media as Jimbo is. Nick could tell like it is. Jimbo, he like to fucking sugarcoat shit. And then get mad when you catch him on some stuff. So that's where his downfall started. Then he didn't want to, he didn't allow, and he kind of like pulled a Bobby Bowden maneuver. He didn't want to allow none of his assistants to interview for jobs. Randy Sanders for one, who I think Pruitt should get.
As the offensive coordinator. I think is he still is Randy Sanders currently at Florida State right now?
As of now, we don't know. But if Willie keep him, that's a big plus. If Willie keep Randy, that's a big plus. But if I was Jeremy Pruitt, I'd go after Randy Sanders. Because you saw what I text you guys on Sport Talk who he managed to get for his stand so far. So
being an NFL player, you can relate to a lot of guys. He was pretty decent as a good punt returner. Terry Ferris, the defensive backs coach.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good because you can relate to guys. When you have that NFL experience as a college assistant or any assistant, people can relate to you, man. Because a lot of
Yeah,
coaches, you'll be surprised. A lot of coaches have never played professional, you know,
true.
so when you've been in that position, people gonna be like, what is it like to be in the NFL? You got a lot of questions surrounding you, you got a lot of experience, and then Terry Fair was a damn good punt returner at Tennessee. I think
Yeah,
he led the
nation in
nation in
punt returns and punt yards.
punt yards. Yeah, so he was a bad dude, man. You know what I'm saying? So with Terry Fair and Jeremy Pruitt, they're doing a good job of recruiting
Yeah,
staff. They're building up a good staff. It's always good to have a former player on your team
yep,
from that school. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to have a former player as one of the assistants. That way you can uh, build the program. You know what I'm saying? Which
right.
brings me to this point. Tubby Smith. Tubby
Hmm.
Smith at Memphis. And I like Tubby, but I don't think he's going to be there very long. I'm going to just
I
keep
ain't
it
been keeping
100.
up with Memphis basketball, and that's
I'm
something
gonna,
I don't even dwell on them. I'm not even. I
well,
ain't keeping up with Memphis.
I have to mention it because this dude is struggling with teams like Mercer, fucking Arkansas, Little Rock. This dude is struggling with Putty Patroller ass teams. He got his ass whooped against UAB in Birmingham. Now, granted, this is
Well,
not
that's
the same way.
understandable.
But here's the thing. I know it's a rival game. I know it's a rivalry game. I get that. I get that. But when you're in a tough basketball conference like the AAC, where you got UConn, Cincinnati, you got fucking Wichita State, you're in a very tough
Hmm.
AAC, which I feel like, you know what I'm saying? That's just a breakup of the Big East. That's all the AAC is. But
All the AAC and number the Big East reboot. That's all. So
yeah, but with that being said, when you lose to teams like UAB and you're pretty much with the big boys, may as well say they is what it is. But when you're with the big boys,
hmm.
you got to beat teams like UAB. I don't give a fuck if it's in Memphis, Birmingham, whatever. University of Memphis
Excuse me.
athletic director did a bad job by making them go to fucking Birmingham, Alabama. What kind of stupid ass shit is that? Because when it comes to scheduling, the athletic director has more say so than the basketball coach. So I'm
Hmm.
trying to figure out what the fuck this motherfucker was thinking going to fucking Birmingham. They should have brought that shit to Memphis.
Yeah,
But the
I
thing
don't
is
know.
with Tubby Smith did a poor job of recruiting. Let's just keep it 110, shame the devil, and let the rocks
Yeah,
throw later. The thing is, he did a bad job recruiting. And he did a better job recruiting when he was in Memphis, when he was at Minnesota with the with the Hollins boys, than he did actually being at Memphis. He's
yeah.
got pretty much the leftover Josh Pastner recruits.
Hmm.
That's
Oh,
why I
it's
say,
funny you should mention him. Josh Pasney is who I thought he was though, bro.
what is he doing over there at Georgia Tech right now?
Well, the last I heard, he lost to Grambling.
Give me a second. I want to Georgia Tech. A second. Georgia Tech basketball.
He lost to Grambling.
He lost to fucking Warford? What
Yes.
the fuck?
Now you talk about Tubby. Look what Passing doing. The fuck?
This motherfucker, son of a bitch. And you know what? Watch this motherfucker beat somebody relevant. And he went to the NIT championship last year. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Pasney is who I thought he is, man. You lose to fucking Grambling. I don't know I don't know what's worse. Tubby losing to UAB or Josh Pazner losing to Warford.
I don't know, man.
Ain't Warford a street in South Memphis? I mean in North Memphis? Warford then Watkins. Warford is where you get to Watkins. Watkins and Jackson, I believe.
This motherfucker lost to Tennessee. He lost to UCLA.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me go run down Georgia Tech's schedule. They lost to UCLA, which was understandable.
Okay.
That's the reason why them boys got caught with them clothes in their hand. He barely beat Bethune-Cookman. Grande did okay versus North Texas. Okay now. They beat fucking Northwestern basketball team who has never made the NCAA tournament, by the way.
This is the Chris Collins Northwestern, right?
From what I understand, yes.
So they barely beat them.
They barely beat them. Chris,
okay. Now that's understandable. Losses to UCLA and Tennessee is understandable.
Hold on, give me a second. No, they made their first NCAA tournament last year. Okay, I have to make sure I get it correct.
That's why I had to ask you about that because I said this the Chris Collins you talking about, right? Because they did make it, but the way they was playing last year, they act like they didn't want to be in it.
Okay, and that's a shock because they're a private school up in Chicago, and
right,
it's stacked with basketball talent. You know what I'm saying? There's only a handful of cities I can say, or even states that I could say give Memphis a run for their money in terms of basketball talent.
Yeah.
You know, Chicago.
Because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm a Chicago dude. Chicago has a plethora. I'm gonna tell you something. Chicago has a plethora of talent as far as basketball goes. And dating back to the days now, from what I understand, from day back to the days of DePaul and them badass Lou Henson teams with the fighting the line out when they had Nick Anderson and Kenny Kendall Gill.
Kendall Gill
and Kenny Ballard. Because it was one year, man. I mean, that's all everybody was talking about, the fighting the line out. Man, it was 1 year, man. Them fools went #1. They were like the #1 team back in 88 and 89. Them motherfuckers are so dominant back in the day, man. And shit. And DePaul.
That fighting a Illini team should have beaten Michigan that year.
Yeah. Because they
were way better. They were way better better than fucking Michigan that year, and they lost to them.
Hell yeah!
They beat them 3 times in the regular season, and then came back the 4th time and lost to them. I'm like, what the fuck? They were good.
They were. I was watching that because back then they had Big Ten Network had this little show, the season, and that was, I think that Illini team that year they only lost like 2 or 3 games that year, and they were talking about Nick Anderson bung that up, and he said yeah, we beat them 3 times that year. He said we beat them in the regular season and then beat them in the conference tournament, beat them bad, and he said they turn around, we get beat by them. They said that year that Illini team could have won the national title.
Oh yeah, they had Kendall Gill, Larry Smith, Nick Anderson, Marcus Liberty, Andy Kaufman. Not the comedian Andy Kaufman. Just let's be clear.
No, I know that. I know.
Stephen Bardo. These are dudes that play professionally.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? This was a squad. They should have beat the shit out of. They were undersized team that year, but they could run your ass out the gym.
Hell yeah. Hey, and I was watching some old highlights about it, and my cousin, and shit, my cousin was telling me about some things about them, man. He said, shoot, them Lou Henson, them Illini teams from back then, said, shoot, Lou Henson, them coach teams that run your ass out the building. And Kendall Gill even went down memory lane. He said he felt, in his opinion, that 88-89 squad was the best. And he said if you put that 88-89 squad against the 90-91 UNLV Running Rebels and Arkansas that year, he said he said that'd have been his ooh. And they even asked him, he said honestly, he said he felt the 90-91 UNLV team could have beat them. Cause man, they really were tiff and tat as far as how up and down speed, tempo. You know, Kendall Gill did admit his hang up forever be not having a jump shot. Cause he said he said like because he said that would forever be his hang up, not having a jump shot. He had it, but he just didn't want to do it. He just didn't feel like shooting. So. But Nick, yeah, big as he was, he could defend and he had a jump shot. Those Luke Henson teams back then with them boys, with them cats on there, they ran your ass out the building. And then the Paul teams with Ray Meyer's son, when Joey Meyer was coaching, they weren't nothing nice neither. They run your ass out the building too. But I just couldn't understand back in '92 though. The Paul team that was stacked with them big dudes that used to give Penny Hardaway and David Vaughn hell. They went to they came to Memphis, blew them out, went to Chicago, got their ass blown out. But then with the Pauls, the number one seed in the Great Midwest Tournament, all of a sudden, Billy Smith, the great savior, dunking on all them motherfuckers, blew their ass out. I was mad as hell with that shit, man. I'm like, the hell? Man. Oh man. I'm like, man, what the hell? I was so mad about that, but luckily, and then they said when Memphis played Cincinnati, they said the Paul fans were cheering Cincinnati to beat them.
Man, I mean, the thing about that year, speaking of the 1992 Memphis State squad who made the Elite Eight, man, those motherfuckers, the motherfucking games got worse. The first game, we lost by like 7. The second game in Memphis, we lost by 10. Mm-hmm. The Great Midwest game, I think we lost by
12.
15. Lost by 12. And then the
12 and then 31.
We got our ass whooped. And the thing was, Cincinnati found a way to not only get Penny Hardaway in foul trouble, but shut him down. Mm-hmm. I'm like that half court trap, that 1-3-1 half court trap of Cincinnati gave Memphis problems, and they would mug motherfuckers at the half court.
And check this out.
Let me finish that.
Bob. Okay.
That's the same 1-3-1 half court trap Villanova ran versus North Carolina. I was saying that throughout the game versus North Carolina, they running the same half court trap Cincinnati ran when Bob Huggins was at Cincinnati. You know, but
now Bob Huggins at West Virginia, he not running that no more now. He running a full court pressure defense, but then against certain teams, he'll pop a 2-3 trap on your ass. Can't nobody, those certain teams couldn't figure out that shit.
Oh yeah, he gave Michigan hell. That white boy, I forgot that white boy. That at Michigan, he had to come off the bench and shoot their lights out.
Dugan Fife.
Cincinnati.
Dugan Fife.
Yeah, Luda Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer, it's just Dugan Fife.
Dugan Fife. Fife. White boy Dugan Fife came off that bench and shot Cincinnati ass lights out because fucking they whole Michigan guards was having a hard time against that.
Hell yeah.
That's how much hell they were
giving. The Fab Five was having trouble with Cincinnati, period. And Bob Huggins said when Dugan Fife came off the bench and beat us, Bob Huggins said the first person hand he shook was Dugan Fife before he went to Steve Fisher. He told him, I wasn't expecting that from you. He said, kick my ass. Good game, you know?
Hey, he came out of fucking nowhere. He saved Michigan ass. You know what I'm saying? They got the ass kicked versus Duke, which they shouldn't have lost to Duke, but I digress with that one. But man,
I'm gonna put it like this. I said that Cincinnati team that year, if they had to beat Michigan, I said that Cincinnati team that year, as low as they was, they could have beat Duke. They would have beat Duke that year.
I think so too because they were physical. Cincinnati that year was fucking physical.
Hell yeah, physical, and then they beat your ass in the 3-point line. Shit.
The only team they had a problem with that whole year was Marquette team. You know what I'm saying? They lost to DePaul. They traded wins with DePaul, but they were close. That was a close.
I remember that. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you. Cincinnati swept. Okay, Cincinnati regular season swept Memphis, but DePaul would turn around and sweep them.
Oh, sweep them. Okay,
whereas Marquette and Cincinnati were trading wins. So yeah, that team, that Cincinnati team, I don't know how many games they lost, but hey, I got one better one since I compared like now I went to Southside, okay?
Right.
My junior year, 94-95 Southside basketball team. You know, some of these dudes now, when I talk about it with some of them will say all right, but then others, they would look at me like I'm stupid and going about their business. I'm talking about some of my classmates will go and look at me like I'm stupid and going about their business. Now, I'm going to tell you something about this. East that year in 94-95 was nothing to fuck with. Now, I'm going to tell you something here, okay? When you said Cincinnati, first game to play Cincinnati, lost to them by what? 7 points?
Yeah.
Okay, 7, then by 10, then by 12, then by 31. Okay? I compared them 4 times Southside met up with East as equivalent to that. Okay? Right. East came to Southside. Southside tore their ass up. Then East all of a sudden got that, and then East all of a sudden came back on their ass. We lost to them.
Right.
On a questionable buzzer beater.
Right.
Okay, the buzzer beater was questionable. On a questionable 3-point buzzer beater shot. Okay, first game we lost to them about 1. That's why I said you got to put an asterisk on that because it was questionable buzzer beater. Then turn around, we went to East, lost to them by 3. Then what is it that you got to play before you make? Ain't it like the district, then the city, or something like that? I don't know how it go. But the third game.
Okay. Before you play the city, you have to win the district in the regular season. They have the regular season championship and then the district championship.
Okay, we played them in the district. Okay, we played them in the district championship. We lost to their ass by 10 points, and then we turned the fuck around, got our ass whooped by Southside got their ass whooped by 30 points to East.
In the region.
Yes.
After that, are you
in the region?
Okay.
Yep. In the region. Cause 2 regular seasons. Hold on. 2 regular season games, district, region. We got our ass whooped by East. And that team there, don't want to talk about we'll talk about them at another time. That team there, they were fucking loaded. But then the year after Southside, after the 95, because that and I remember the record, man, and I wrote it in my yearbook. 1994-95 Southside basketball team finished 25-7. That to me, really, beside the ones of all the stories I heard about the Southside teams that had big pain and stuff, all that stuff, to me, by seeing it with my own eyes, that Southside basketball team in Memphis, Tennessee was the best one to me, in my opinion, because they gave it their all. But the follow-up, anyway, let's talk about something else.
Right.
Okay. The follow-up team from 95-96, they only won 2 games that year.
That's sad. Was you there at Southside when Vic Payne was playing at Southside?
No. I got to Southside back in the start of my sophomore year. That was in 93. 93-94. The 93-94 school year. I was at Hamilton them years Vic Payne was there. Because I went to Hamilton. Because I went to Hamilton in 7th and 8th grade, then Hamilton High in 9th grade, and then excuse me. Then I went to the then because of the fact that Hamilton was no longer in the South Memphis was no longer in Hamilton's district, I was forced to go to Southside.
Yeah.
We had to go to Southside, and then my mom's and pops, they really wanted me to go to Central. But it was some little bullshit on that end with that, because I don't know, that year I think South you had to have a certain GPA to go to Central or some shit, or some little bullshit that was told to me as to why. But there was also another reason behind that one.
Yeah, with Vic
No, I'm
Page.
talking what.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Speaking of Southside, I remember this like yesterday because Rodney Newsom played for that Hamilton team. They whooped Hamilton's ass from the regular season to the fucking district. But when they got to the fucking region, all of a sudden, Hamilton team came out of fucking nowhere and beat Southside that year. And this was an undefeated Southside team that year. It was like 34-0 that whole year. Nobody could stop Vic Payne. Vic Payne was like Shaq before the NBA, goddammit. I mean, he was like 7 feet tall, 270 pounds. That dude destroyed dudes in that post. He scared motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, Hamilton came out of nowhere and go all the way to the state championship and barely win it versus, I think it was Brentwood Academy, I think it was.
Yep.
Brentwood Academy team was pretty good in their own right. But they went all the way to they went all the way to the state championship and win this motherfucker. I'm like, how the fuck did they just do that? And the tallest person on Hamilton team was 6'5".
Mm-hmm.
And they were like 6'5" niggas on the team. They had no inside game. They went all the way to the state championship and won. And usually when you get to the state championship, you playing against country boys, you playing against tall motherfuckers. You ain't playing against short teams. You know, every once in a while you might run into some teams that are undersized, but for the most part, when you play guys out of Science Hill, play guys out of what's that school? Knoxville Central, Gallatin, those little country boys. Oh, you're playing against some
you playing some horses.
Oh yeah. You know, it's rare that you see that, man, that you see undersized teams like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Especially back then, man. You know,
now, I mean,
go ahead.
Now, like I was saying, you know, now that 95 team, I mean, we was pretty stacked because we really, we didn't have no center because our tallest player was like he was 6'5", cat by the name Antonio Jones. Okay. Yeah. And really, now here's a quick story here. And see, like a lot of people, they like keep mum about shit. That 95-96 team was supposed to be anchored by Antonio Jones and a cat by the name Fred McLeod. Right. And I don't know who the center was. Center by the name Andre Davis. What's going on, Reverend? By the way, big shout out to Pastor Davis. But somebody before the start of the basketball season happened, you know, I think some of the basketball players was on a gag order that they couldn't talk about the shit. But Tonio talked. I pulled him aside and asked him briefly, and it was some. Let's just say it was just some little shady shit that had something to do with him. Somebody from another school dropped a dime on him about his age or something like that. Because I don't know how the age was, what the requirement was. They wanted to say something about that. He was already something about you couldn't be 18 years old and play on a basketball team or something like that. And Antonio wasn't even 18 yet. Antonio was going to be 18 when he was going to turn 18 when the basketball season was over with. So it was some little shit right then and there. That's what happened. So that's why we went from being 25-7 to 2-25.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know who it was we lost the two wins to, but the 25 losses, that really was a piss poor season then. But that's why I said the fondest Southside basketball. when already what was a little dreary junior year for me, that 94-95 basketball team, in my eyes, they really were the last. They really was the last best Southside basketball team, bar none, to me, in my opinion, from when I was there. Now the Vic Payne teams, I've heard they were all pretty good, but anybody, I'm saying it right here and there, anybody that went to Southside that played on that team, 94-95, hey, y'all remind us really were the best ones. That was the best team in my opinion. Because I think they really ran the power small ball offense to me. But that was I said that team there, Jimmy, that team there stick to my heart, man, because they gave it their all. And by the way, there was a cat on that team. Hold on. And by the way, Central, speaking of Central, I don't know who Central had on that team that year, but I do fondly remember Southside when Central came to Southside, they whooped our ass by 20-some points. How about we went to Central and basically punked them out in their home court by almost 40-some points?
Wow.
That 95 team made a statement, blew their ass out. And I remember a cat by the name of John Grice. He played for Central. I think it was back in 90. I went to Southwest back in 99. And he asked me, he said, I remember when Southside came to our court, man, y'all whooped the shit out of our ass, bro. Like, yep.
Man, speaking of Central stay having cold ass dudes, man. I mean, every time you play Central, you're gonna find one cold motherfucker on that team. They can be slow is cold slow. But they gonna have one motherfucker that can shoot that motherfucker, that can cross your ass over.
Yep.
Central gonna keep them one good basketball player. And with that being said, I remember one time Lester Hudson from Central played against Oak Haven. This nigga single-handedly destroyed Oak Haven that year, man. And Lester Hudson is the only dude to record a quad double in the NCAA, and he led the nation in scoring his senior year at Martin. So,
and what year was this he came out?
I want to say he came out in 03, 04, some shit like that. But we played him. We played Central once. But he was like the only dude that was really doing the damn thing. Because he was good. Lester Hudson was a beast in high school. But slow. Central was so fucking slow that he was the only dude that was getting the attention, and that's because he was just that good, But Central always keep them a good one player.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying about the John Grice dude. I heard a lot of stuff, and I heard a lot of stuff about him, and because I remember my pops when he was reading the paper and he pulled me in the room. He said, "Hey, don't this guy go to because like I said, I was going to Southwest." He said, "Don't he go to Southwest with you?" And because I think he was being talked about in the paper about something. He didn't do nothing. No, John didn't do nothing no wrong. I mean, they were just talking about just how badass he was. And I said, John was good, and then I think he played a couple years with Southwest basketball team, but then I don't know where else he went. But when I did my homework on him, and I remember I asked my cousin Stacy, because she went to school at Central. She graduated from Central 97. I said, "You ever heard of this cat by the name of John Grice?" She's like, "Who? I ain't ever heard of John. He was one of the best players in that school." So yeah, I mean. But like I said, high school sports, like right now, like as far as, now Southside is not, high school is non-existent now. It's now I think a middle school now, but I don't know. But just memories, like I said, memories like that, you can't place that, So.
Oh no, it really. Hamilton in BTW is really in South Memphis because they didn't gentrify that entire area. With Carver School District now is merged with, I want to say, Booker T now. And,
Yep.
And Southside School District is now merged with Hamilton School District because they didn't marginalize the school district so small. You can't get no enrollment with these school districts, and a lot of these companies need to be ashamed of themselves. These property owners and these corporations need their ass whooped for that because some of these schools were real good schools. You know what I'm saying? But you know they marginalized it to the point to where you can only have 2 schools in those very same areas of town and stuff like that. So it's crazy.
Yeah. Now I know I had a buddy of mine. Now I think BTW that year, in my senior year now, they really was, I think they was the first school, they were the first school to do the block schedule.
Right.
And I wanted to go there because a buddy of mine was going there too. You know, kind of like to keep the we had a little group, and when I was going up the south side, we had, it was called the Crew. It still is the Crew. So when he left, I mean, like his name, my partner named Aaron, Big Aaron Rumley. Big shout out to him and his stroke recovery too. So it was myself, him, cat by the name Mario Smith, Jimmy, I'm gonna say a name. His name will probably be mentioned in future coaching circles, but he's coaching football right now in Indiana. Cat by the name of Quasi Clark. Because his high school in Indiana had won they went to the regional championship. I believe they lost. So don't be surprised if his name is in coaching circles. See, the crew is always, it was compromised, like I said, myself, Aaron, Mario, Quasi, and my boy Chad Rogers, but he was more the outsider, so to speak, of the group. So, but yeah, so you know when the crew split up, it was Aaron, like I said, my boy Aaron, he went to BTW, and me and Quasi, we were the only two that was holding the crew down the south side, and my boy Mario, he went to Wooddale. And like I said, Chad was more of an outsider, so he kind of did his own little thing. So we basically was the four horsemen with JJ Dillon at Southside till we split. But yeah, I wanted to go there because of the block scheduling, man. But then when Aaron said, he said, yeah, it'd be nice. He said, but you ain't in BTW's district though, man. I said, damn. Man.
And that's another school district they marginalized. That's another school district they marginalized, especially when they got rid of Lemoyne Gardens and shit like that. They completely marginalized that area. Because BTW used to have the same enrollment as Hamilton High School. Right. It was at one point they had kids in that school district, and then it dropped all the way fucking down to like 500. And I think the current enrollment is between 300 and 200 kids.
Right.
They're actually playing in one single A basketball right now.
Because I know my partner, like I said, my partner Aaron, now he left because he played on the Southside football team with my boy Quasi. And when Quasi and we had to talk about why he left, he was like, shit, I didn't blame him. My boy Quasi said, hey, I don't blame Aaron for leaving. Because the football team had a coach, was coached by Coach Taylor, I think his name, Fred Taylor. Okay. And he fucked Aaron over on some things and shit. So, Coach Taylor, he ran a 4-3 defense with Southside, and he wanted to make my boy Aaron play in, but his natural position is nose tackle. He want, he wanted just nose tackle. And strong side nose tackle and stuff. So, but he wanted to make, like I said, he wanted to make that man play his position and everything and whatnot, and he didn't want to do it.
So he just told that man, he said, shit. He said, no, man, fuck it. I'm transferring all to BTW. BTW ran the 3-4. Had that man playing the coach at the time at BTW. I said, man, he said, you mind playing nose? And he told him, no. He said, that's my next position. He said, well, good. That's gonna be your position from now on. He was on one of the best. He was on one of the best defenses that year with BTW.
Oh, most definitely, dog. Most definitely.
Definitely. Man, somebody call me again, man. If I can.
And one thing I can say about BTW, like Central in basketball, they got at least one fast ass nigga, one cold ass nigga that ain't smoking weed, getting in a whole bunch of trouble on the BTW football team. Basketball has always been good. Ever since Coach Horton been there, Coach Horton has always kept a good basketball team, and he's been there like 40-some years, and it hurt me to see him only winning that one championship with T-Head and Andre Allen, because when I met Coach Horton back in 2002, he's a real good guy. He knew who the hell I was, and I wasn't even going to the school, but the fact that I was on the Oak Haven track team, he knew my name. You know what I'm saying? He say, "How you doing, James?" He shook my hand. You know, Coach Horton is a real good guy. I can tell you that from firsthand experience. He knew my name and everything. It was like I knew him. He's been knowing me for years and stuff like that. But it hurted me to see that guy only win one championship with all the teams he's had. Because one thing about Coach Horton, those BTW Warriors, anybody who's played the BTW Warriors, them motherfuckers will shoot your fucking lights out, dog. I mean, that's why it killed me, because he would lose to Dyer County every year, then lose to Jackson Liberty. His teams after T-Head, he had some shooters. His teams would kill everybody in the regular season. They would only have one loss, no more than 3 losses during the regular season. And they would get all the way to the state or the sub-state or the region championship and lose every year. And I was like, it's like that team that played in the state championship game versus Knoxville Fulton. There is no way in fucking hell they should have lost to Knoxville Fulton. I know they beat Mitchell the year before, and they cheated Mitchell that year. They called some bullshit calls that year under the late Coach Johnson. Rest in peace, God rest his soul. Coach Johnson, you know, he's such a class act. I want to say Terry Johnson, but I'm not. Jerry Johnson, excuse me. Jerry Johnson, for Mitchell, who won a championship with Kingsbury back in '98, took Mitchell to like 5 state championships. But Coach Jerry Johnson, man, God rest that man. So he was such a class act. He tried to turn around the Wooddale team, but he got so sick. And Coach Johnson was one of those guys that you never knew he was sick unless he actually looked good, you know, not to be no homo at all, but the guy always looked like he was healthy. But you know, God rest that guy's soul. But getting on Coach Horton at BTW, anybody who played BTW to about the end of his career, around 2010, 2011, the last year he coached, because he went to the state quarterfinals and lost to Lake County, and they should have beat the shit out of Lake County teams. But with Coach Horton is a nice guy, man, and I never won no more than a state championship, because with T-Head and lost to a team, not in the state of Tennessee, and he lost to my Oak Haven Hawks. I didn't play for Oak Haven, by the way, but this is Oak Haven Hawks with Rory Green, Zachary Sanders, Barry. I know his name was Barry, light-skinned Barry. He had a squad, our little version of that squad that year, but we would give BTW hell, because the first game we barely lost at BTW. The second game we blew them out up at Oak Haven and held T-Head to 8 points. And that's because we didn't let that boy get the ball. But in the district championship, though, man, T-Head not only went off on Oak Haven, because what they started doing was you started using screens and shit like that. Coach Horton came with a badass game plan. He started using screens. And that's how.
When did you come out okay?
Say what now? I came out of Oak Haven in 2000. This was around 2001, but I came out of Oak Haven in 03. But
okay, yeah, I used to date a girl that went to Oak Haven.
Yeah, you had T-Head, Tim Barr, Andre Alley, Yusuf Sharif, which was Coach Sharif's son, who coached the tennis team, assistant track coach, and there was another dude. But I remember they started 5 like it was yesterday. And you had James Hooper coming off the bench, who was shooting that motherfucker too, though. But yeah, BTW squad, Tim Barr was the silent. The guy that normally killed us was Tim Barr, because people slept on Tim Barr. Tim Barr was shooting that motherfucker. When T-Head was off and Andre was off, all of a sudden this motherfucker come out of nowhere and start draining her ass. And not to shit on him, because if he listening, you know what I'm saying? I fucks with you, Tim Barr, but I'm still butthurt about y'all you shooting our motherfucking lights out over there Oak Haven, man. I gotta get on your ass. You killed my team. You killed my team. Tim Barr was a bad motherfucker. If T-Head was off, best to believe Tim Barr was gonna shoot that motherfucker. He was gonna shoot your damn lights out. You know what I'm saying? But in the district championship, T-Head shut down Roy Green in that game. I think he held him like 8 or 10 points, some shit like that. It's been so long since I've seen the game, but T-Head, that's the first time I've really seen T-Head play defense the way he did. He made it his business to shut down Roy Green, because Roy Green points and fucking T-Head, man, was a monster on defense. From what I understand, he told Coach Horton, let me hold this motherfucker. And T-Head could do a lot of things on the court, but he fell in love with 3-point shooting, like he did in this interview with ESPN Memphis. Because you got ESPN radio stations all over the United States, but he did an interview with the guy in Memphis, and he was like, man, I could play defense, I could rebound, I could pass the ball, but I just fell in love with 3-point shooting. I've never seen a motherfucker that could shoot lights out. This dude could have an off game, and then the next thing you know, he done hit about 12 3-pointers. This dude was the Stephen Curry before Stephen Curry. He can shoot, and people saying, well, it's high school basketball. You don't know what that motherfucker would have did. And it's like that in Memphis all the time. You got basketball players. If you played them in the streets, you wouldn't know they were real basketball players. There's some guys that I grew up with in the hood that was so good in basketball in high schools. You know, a lot of these guys end up going to jail, doing lengthy prison sentences. Sometimes it's their own doing. Sometimes they go to a college that don't give a fuck about them and ride the bench them out like they did Willie Kemp at Memphis. Because Willie Kemp was a damn good basketball player at Bolivar Central. That's to believe that. If you've seen Willie Kemp in high school and at Memphis, that's 2 totally different basketball players. And then the system don't fit for those players. So sometimes they want to stay close to home. Like, let's say you in West Tennessee, because there's a lot of country boys up there at Bolivar Central, Jackson Southside, even Union City. People sleep on the talent out there at Union City. Union City be having some great basketball talent. You know, especially Stanley Caldwell at Tennessee, played for Tennessee with Allen Houston. And speaking of which, that team that Wade Houston got a lot of good leftover players out of Tennessee, out of Memphis. He got a lot of good players, and they couldn't do shit with them motherfuckers. But back to my point. Coach. Yeah, Wade Houston couldn't coach. He was so used to that Louisville system. You know, he was just a one-player coach, basically. He was lucky he had Allen as his son, because the teams that Wade had, they should have went to the fucking Final Four with the teams he had. I can tell you, he had Lane Wiseman at Tennessee. Lane Wiseman was killing. Man, Lane Wiseman used to give Penny Hardaway fits at fucking Bolton. I mean, That Treadwell team used to whoop Bolton's ass up until the state championship game versus Treadwell, but Lane Wiseman gave Penny Hardaway hell. If Lane used to lock down Penny Hardaway, so he didn't shut him down, but if let's say Penny Hardaway scored 40 points,
right?
40 points Penny Hardaway ever scored in his fucking life.
Hey, didn't I find Wade after that game? Lost
Say what now?
Championship game because I think they had won they won 12 games and they come around and lost 23.
You talking about Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Lane. Yeah, but Lane was cold, man. He was cold. There is no way you don't win with that fucking team. You had Mr. Basketball, two-time Mr. Basketball winner, Stanley Caldwell. Then in 1993, when I think it was Allen Houston's senior year, he had Stevie Hammer up at Middleton, who set the state championship record for block shots. Stevie Hammer was a beast in that post. He was a tall, lanky, 7-foot guy out of Middleton, Tennessee. He was in the state championship tournament, and it was like he was dominating motherfuckers in that state championship tournament. And he was a good player for Tennessee for a minute because Kevin O'Neal, after Kevin O'Neal took over as the head coach, every time Memphis played, every time Lorenzo Wright and Memphis State played him, he shut down Lorenzo Wright. He locked Lorenzo Wright ass down. I think in both matchups, he only scored 8 points in both games. You know what I'm saying? So Stevie Hammer was a dog, man. He had dogs. But Wade Houston could not coach them motherfuckers for shit.
Wade Houston couldn't coach, period, man.
Yeah, he was just an assistant coach over there at Louisville. And the only reason why he got the job because he was an assistant at Louisville. That's it. Had he not been an assistant with those Louisville teams that won that championship, he would have never got the fucking Tennessee job.
No.
And then Don DeVoe just not left to Florida, so they needed a coach desperately. So Tennessee just got a fucking coach. They didn't do no real big recruiting search or nothing. They just got a coach that year. Don DeVoe pretty much set the tone for Tennessee basketball in Florida basketball. But getting back on my boy T-Head. T-Head, man, he was the Stephen Curry before Stephen Curry. And people can say, well, that's high school basketball all they want. But this motherfucker was shooting 30 feet, 25 feet, 27 feet. He was shooting from NBA range and knocking them bitches down. If T-Head got the fucking ball, you ain't nobody finna guard T-Head. Now, it was old boy, I think it was Terrence Salisbury. Terrence Salisbury is the only dude that probably, from Carver, is probably the only dude that probably could hold him with the ball. But anybody else, the nigga had a crossover, some behind the back moves. Dude, you couldn't hold that motherfucker. He was just that quick and trigger happy, dog. He'll be hitting them bitches, dog. Real talk. I mean, next thing you know, the way he shoot threes, your team down by like 20, 30 within the span of a minute, 2 minutes. The way he shot that bitch, he could hit 10 3-pointers in a game like it wasn't nothing. He could hit 12, 15 threes like it wasn't nothing. Kill your team just like that like it wasn't nothing. You know, Andre Allen was a freshman that year. You know what I'm saying? So he did his little thing, but man, T-Head, man, had he not went to jail, I strongly believe that boy would have. Because some of the things Stephen Curry doing, he doing the same exact shit T-Head did. And I tell people this all the time. I'm like, Memphis that's doing the same shit Stephen Curry. If you take a side by side, show Stephen Curry and show T-Head, that's the same fucking player. That's the same fucking player. Now, Curry is a better passer, might have been a better passer than T-Head.
Right.
But shooting wise, they shot just alike, dog. Real talk, man. You know what I'm saying, dog?
Yeah. But man,
so go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna end the show on this note here, man. Cause I'm gonna get ready to get started and run a few errands and stuff, and get so I can have a lot of some fresh linen and get fresh clothes and stuff for the week. I said something about him addressing all these little bandwagon fans and stuff, right? Okay, mainly like with the women. All right, how can I'm not bashing women or nothing, but how can folks truly say that they're a fan of something and they don't know shit about the game?
You talking about basketball or football?
Anything, basketball, football, mainly. How can you say you're a fan of something when you don't know shit about the game? Because sometimes I don't like arguing. I was arguing with somebody on Facebook. I just kept it short because I don't entertain the food. Okay. I always say you mess around, you entertain the food, you become one yourself.
Exactly.
I was trying to tell this one zipperhead, how can you be a fan of something? How long you been a fan of so-and-so? Oh, I'm a fan because my husband a fan. Well, this I always say. Now I told my boy Trey Murphy about something. I said, man, half these folks out here in football swear up and down they know shit about football. I said, half of them don't know the difference between pulling up a post route or pulling up lane at the post. So how the fuck you tell somebody about football?
Exactly. You don't know the difference between the post route and the post corner route. Motherfuckers don't know that. Motherfuckers don't know what a curl is. Motherfuckers don't know what a quick out is. You know what I'm saying?
Hitch route, curl route. I always say, motherfucker know the difference between the post route and the post office.
Yeah.
So how can you sit and tell me what I don't know about football and question who I've been a team of? I'm a fan of the Bulls. I don't know what the fuck going on with them now.
Just like this motherfucker on my job. He was talking about because I was telling them there's a strong possibility that the Lakers could get in the playoffs. Now, on the surface, that sounds crazy as hell with the way Lonzo Ball playing slow. But I'm saying the West from 1 to 4, those are locks in the playoffs. 1 to 4, but 5 to 8, you know what I'm saying? Even 5 to 10, anybody can get in the playoffs.
Right.
He was telling me, well, you must be smoking on some shit. I'm like, no, I know how the West is. So the thing is, we don't know who's going to get in the playoffs from 5 to 10. 1 to 4 is pretty much locked. Golden State's going to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Houston going to get in.
Golden State, San Antonio, Houston, and who else?
Yeah.
And the Clippers.
I think right now, the Clippers, they pretty much going to get in. They might make a trade, but they still going to get in. But everybody else, it's an open battle. You know what I'm saying? So he was telling me, man, you don't know nothing about basketball. I'm like, dude, look, I done played for summer league basketball programs. I done played on summer camps. I done played in church league basketball. So if I played organized basketball, I know what basketball is. I know what suicides are. I know what a stack formation is in basketball. I know what a motion offense is in basketball. So obviously I know something about basketball. Now I might not know it basketball like my boy Tim Barr. Shout out to him again. I might not know basketball like he do, but I know what a fucking stack is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's like in football. Like people talking about how you know so much about basketball and your ass don't even play. Okay, you don't know what the fuck I do. I ain't never played, I never played in a church organization or none of that. But I did play out in the street. Hell, I sometimes hate playing with street niggas, man. Cause shit, you be wanting to be trying to mind just play a game by yourself, and then the whole fucking neighborhood want to play a ball game, then they get mad because you gotta go. So, that I play basketball with that. Football. Like looking at New England, looking at the Packers offense, for example. I've been to know what they were going to. I've been already know what play Aaron Rodgers being ready to run before they even do it. I said, okay, they finna go vertical. Jordy Nelson gonna go on the vertical, but then Jody gonna cut a post route, in the middle. If not, if that's covered, then he gonna check it down and running back. Boom. I already knew what he been and did. You know, like I said, my boy Quasi Clark, coach up at he's up coaching at a high school in Indianapolis. He had his little play call sheet up there on the blackboard. One of the plays I recognized, I said, ain't that ain't that split back? I asked him, I said, yeah, I know one of them plays is split back is 680. It's two of them plays you got up on there from the split back formation, 689 hook and slot cross. And he was like, damn, how did you know? I said, easy. Slot cross, you streak your number one receiver, you have your slot receiver, your inside slot receiver run a deep post right in the middle, and then your third receiver, depending on what it is, he got an option route. Your running backs can run flares if they want to or choose to block. You know, when I fuck them up on that, and when I fuck up folks on that shit, motherfucker, you know how niggas like to act stupid all the time. Like, you sure know your football and you got too much time in your hand. Dog, it's called watching and it's also called reading. You know, if you got too much time in your hand to go out, slang your little green and slang your little green and all the other little stuff, or mope around that, or try to get your hustle on. Yeah, you had too much. You had too much time in your hands too. And people need to understand. And them same ones that knock me, same ones need to understand. Hey, I work an 8-hour job just like everybody else do. I come home, I have a home life just like everybody else do. And I also use common sense just like everybody else do. And I got plenty of damn common sense and plenty of book sense. It ain't the other way around. Like motherfucker told me, you got more book sense than common sense. I said, no, I got both. I got more both. So I do know what the fuck I'm talking about. And then you're gonna tell me, oh, Craig, you ain't got no street sense. I said, well, the reason being you say I ain't got no street sense because you ain't gonna see me out in the street.
Exactly.
I ain't about that. I'm well aware of my surroundings. I know, but I do know when I'm gonna get played by somebody out in the street, getting hustled. I ain't stupid.
Well, the thing is, you ain't gotta be about that life to have street smarts. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta be about that life. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's a difference between being in that life, having knowledge about that life, and you know what I'm saying, being square. And there's nothing wrong with being square. To be honest with you, being about that life is overrated. You know what I'm saying? That's some good knowledge to have. That's some good knowledge to have on your hand, though. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, I hung out with guys some knucklehead dudes, but for the most part, I was protected by a lot of those knucklehead dudes, man. For the most part. That's the reason why I can relate to people like Tariq Nasheed and Corey Holcomb, shout out to them, and Zoe Williams, because those guys, in their day, they were real street dudes. You know what I'm saying? But I was protected by guys like that because they was like, man, if you got a problem, holler at me, man. You know what I'm saying? They would tell niggas, the people we grew up with, they would tell us, man, don't even go out there and don't get in trouble like that, man. Don't even join no gang. They would let you know because they knew who was about that life and who wasn't about that life. Now you got dudes that want to be a gangbanger just for attention and shit like that.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Story, quick story on that. I remember a time it was a little gangbanger dude wanted to recruit me in the gang and shit. And he gonna walk up to my pops and talking about, hey, your son gonna be next. When we gonna recruit him in the gang regardless. And it said and I remember when Pops told me that story. I said Pops told the dude. He said, you ain't gonna recruit him and shit. He said, because when I get through whooping your ass, you ain't gonna fuck with me. You ain't gonna fuck with nobody in my family. So he said, man, whatever. So 2 days on the street later, I guess somebody got wind of what about the old man, about the young guy approaching my pops and shit. Said the boy got his ass whooped.
Yeah, I mean, because that was off code. Because that's off code, man. You don't tell nobody's parent that you're gonna recruit them and some shit like that. That was a no, man. If you're gonna recruit them, you recruit them, man.
And see, in the gang that whooped them, they knew not to fuck with my pops, man. Know what I mean? Because Because they was like, some of them be like, man, man, now we ain't gonna touch that. Secret seem like straight dude, man. He don't bother nobody.
Yeah, and that's what you don't recruit. You don't recruit a straight dude, a straight shooter, or a square guy.
Yeah.
You recruit a guy that you recruit a guy that's similar to you, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was all about being in the game. The old school way of being in the game. And like I say, I'm not on here live to endorse being in the game, but
yeah,
definitely a no right there. But the thing is, you know what I'm saying? You know who's the type of guy that's about their life and who ain't about their life. But in today's society, you got people that's recruiting the dutter man like ass motherfuckers, and most of the people that's banging is the dutter man ass motherfuckers in that life. You know what I'm saying? And you can't have a whole bunch of them because they will get you caught, they will get you locked up, they will get you doing snitching on each other. That's another thing, because some of those guys that so-called about their life, a lot of times you got a lot of snitching ass motherfuckers in that shit too. You know, more than you think. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the real OG street dudes that's got a code of silence, that's on code. And you got some guys, they'll snitch you out at the drop of a hat. Soon as they get you in, you know what I'm saying? They'll let you get shot. They'll let you get turned in by the cops and shit like that. They ain't trying to come see you, visit you, bail you out, or none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? You got more snitches than people think. People think black society got a no snitching code, but that's nothing further from the truth. There's a lot of snitching ass motherfuckers, more than you think. Why do you think last year Memphis set a record in murders? It was like 230 something. Out of that 230 some murders that occurred, I think they had like a 80% arrest rate out of the 230 that occurred.
And then there was somebody on Facebook wanted to knock me out about Chicago. I'm like, okay, look what's going on in your motherfucking backyard. Yeah, Chicago war zone. I said, but look who number one in murders and arrests.
Well, and I'm gonna speak on Chicago. Let's think about Chicago. Chicago has a whole bunch of fucking cameras around that 200 area. I'm talking about the city, not the metropolitan area. The metropolitan area is more like 10,000 square miles, pretty much the same as Houston.
Right.
But why is there so many murders up in Chicago? None of those motherfuckers getting caught. Isn't a shitload of fucking cameras? That's what I don't get. People always jump on Chicago.
Thank you.
I'm like, why ain't an arrest been made? Some of those murders are being committed by the law enforcement, Chicago PD, and Chicago PD has a long, upstanding history of creating crimes. They have look at the St. Valentine's Day massacre with Al Capone. That was set up by Al Capone in the Chicago PD. So before anybody start running their mouth about Chicago, get 100% of the fact, because I have an article here. Hold on, I have an article here where it said that the arrest rate is very suspicious. It's an article long time ago. I think it was the Chicago Tribune. Where is this article here? It's somewhere up in this motherfucker. But I'll ultimately get to that. But it was some article saying that the arrest rate is very low and it sounds suspicious, and it is. It's been videotaped surfacing. It's been videotaped surfacing. Go ahead.
I'm a native Chicago, and I can tell you that shit there too. And then, like you said before, everybody talk bad about Chicago. Dig up the facts.
Right.
Like I had to tell one of my Facebook friends, I said, hey, I love you. I said, but don't knock my home. Don't talk. You can talk about every other city. Don't talk about mine.
I agree.
You know, and then they got talking about, well, Craig, you don't live there no more. I don't give a fuck. I was born in Chicago. I was raised in Chicago, and I'm gonna stay in Chicago. Regardless if I move down south, I'm still a Chicagoan by heart.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man.
Like they say, never forget where you come from, man. You know, that's me.
Yeah, most definitely, man. So, most definitely, dog. So people need to know the facts before they start running off at the happy ass mouth. Real talk, man.
Yep.
So, man, before we get off this damn live stream, man, you looking to say any last words, man, before I get up off this bitch?
Man, no, other than that, man, I'm just gonna say, like I'm gonna post it on Facebook. Anybody, it's not just me or on Jimmy's end. Do not call and interrupt the live feed to knock us off track again. Please, when I'm on live, that means do not call. To leave a voicemail.
Yeah.
Or something. Huh?
I'm saying exactly. I'm in total agreement. I'm in total agreement with you, dog, on that, because that's nothing more disturbing. And that's the reason why I have my shit on.
If I tell you I'll call you, I'm not being mean, but if I tell you I'll call you back when I'm done, I'll call you back. Don't turn around and call me back again another hour, or make it a demand, and you blow me up 5 or 6 times, like somebody who I personally know demanding me to answer the phone. You wait till I get through, not before. So
oh yeah, and that's why and that's why I put my shit on airplane mode. When I put my phone on airplane mode, I'm like, dude, you got a wife, so it's a little bit different for you. You got a wife and family, so it's a little bit different from you than it is. But I put my shit on airplane mode. I'm just going, so if you call, just call later. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So once again, this your boy, Jimmy J. Smooth, with my boy Craig Smith II out of Huntsville, Alabama. It's your boy Jimmy J. Smooth, live and direct in full effect out to 832. Y'all already know how I do. Peace out, everybody, and y'all have a good day. All right, bye.
All right, same.